In May 2014, the harrowing incident that unfolded in Wisconsin sent shockwaves throughout the nation and beyond. The case involved three 12-year-old girls, Peyton, Morgan Geyser, and Anissa Weier, whose lives became tragically entangled with the dark and surreal world of internet folklore. Morgan and Anissa, under the influence of the fictional online character Slender Man, believed that they had received orders to murder their friend Peyton. Slender Man is a sinister and eerie figure known for stalking and preying on children, particularly in wooded areas. The fact that two young girls were drawn into this disturbing realm of the internet raised urgent concerns about the potential dangers of online influence in impressionable minds. During their trial in 2017, the chilling details of the crime emerged. Morgan Geyser confessed tearfully, revealing the gruesome extent of the attack on Peyton. She admitted to stabbing her friend everywhere, horrifying the court and the public. Morgan also explained that Anissa had expressed reluctance to go through with the act, which led Morgan to feel compelled to carry it out herself. The case raised profound questions about the capacity of children to understand the consequences of their actions and the potential for rehabilitation and change. In a shocking turn of events, both Morgan and Anissa were tried as adults, despite being only 12 years old at the time of the crime. The decision to prosecute them as adults sparked heated debates and discussions about the juvenile justice system, the age of criminal responsibility, and the role of mental health in such cases.
Wait. So then live in the forest?
I don't know. I told her that we were going to die.
Why?
Because you can't just live in a forest.
Morgan received a sentence of 40 years in a secure psychiatric institution, while Anissa was sentenced to 25 years. These sentences, given the girl's young age, garnered significant attention from advocates for juvenile justice reform who argue that children should be treated differently from adults in the legal system, considering they're still developing cognitive abilities and emotional maturity.
One who was stabbed.
Stabbed? I'm not really sure.
Is she dead?
I don't know. She was taken to the hospital. Maybe no.
What? I was just wondering.
After several years of incarceration, Anissa is now pleading to be released, asserting that she has exhausted all available treatments at the Winnebago Mental Health Facility and believes she should be reintegrated into society. Her request for release renews the discussions around the potential for rehabilitation and second chances for young offenders.
Everybody been nice to you?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you had a long day so far. Well, I'm a detective here at the Waukesha Police Department. Okay?
Okay.
And something happened to you with, looks like two of your friends. And so I gotta talk to you about that for a little bit.
Okay.
So I got some questions for you today.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
12. So you just had a birthday not too long ago? What'd you do for your birthday?
Mommy and I had sushi and cupcakes and Daddy.
The Slender Man stabbing was an astonishing and horrifying event that shook the nation, leaving 12-year-old Peyton with both physical and emotional scars. Despite the traumatic experience, she miraculously survived the brutal attack, displaying immense resilience and strength throughout her recovery process.
At her 11th birthday, and we had sushi for her birthday too. You're a year older than her though, but her birthday was last week too. Pretty close in age. It's funny that you guys both like sushi. So did you guys get presents for your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
Tickets to a Star Trek convention?
Where's that at?
I don't know.
When is it coming up or?
It's soon.
Do you like Star Trek?
Yeah.
When's your last day of school coming up?
Over the course of many years, Peyton gradually healed from the physical wounds of the attack. Equally, if not more significant, was her journey to overcome the emotional trauma that the incident had inflicted upon her. In 2019, she courageously decided to share her story in an interview with a U.S. news series. In a remarkable display of forgiveness and maturity, Peyton expressed gratitude to her attackers for shaping her into the person she is today. She recognized that her resilience and growth were a testament to her strength in the face of adversity. Throughout her recovery, Peyton learned to embrace her scars as a part of herself. Instead of viewing them as something to be ashamed of, she saw them as a reminder of her strength and the journey she had undertaken to overcome the unthinkable. With a positive outlook, Peyton firmly believed that over time her scars would fade away physically and emotionally. In the interview, Peyton expressed her belief that her former friends, Morgan and Anissa, should be treated as adults in court despite their young age at the time of the crime. She held the conviction that the offense committed against her was not a minor transgression, but a serious adult crime that deserved adult consequences. Peyton's stance reflects her understanding of the gravity of the crime and the potential consequences it could have had on her life. She differentiated between minor offenses that might be more fitting for treatment under the juvenile justice system, such as stealing a candy bar, and the heinous act of attempting to take someone's life. Peyton's perspective highlights the complexity of the justice system when dealing with young offenders who commit severe and violent crimes. By advocating for treating Morgan and Anissa as adults, Peyton acknowledged the necessity of accountability and the potential impact of their actions on her life. Her perspective offers insight into the complex balance between recognizing the developmental maturity of young offenders and holding them accountable for grave offenses.
I can't really tell who Anissa likes and doesn't like.
So you think she dislikes Ellen?
Probably, yeah. She always calls her, I don't want to say it.
Woman?
She always calls her a bitch.
Why?
I don't know. Because she's being one? I'm just assuming. I don't really know what the definition is.
So you like Ellen pretty much? You ever been mad at her?
She was my only friend for a long time. Because
Why would you hurt your only friend?
it was necessary.
What do you mean necessary?
I don't know.
Somebody told you that?
Mm-hmm.
Does Anissa have any other friends?
The Slender Man stabbing case raises crucial questions about the juvenile justice system and the appropriate handling of young individuals involved in severe crimes. It also highlights the profound impact such incidents can have on victims, both physically and emotionally. Peyton's initial friendship with Morgan was a heartfelt connection that blossomed when they were both 8 years old. Morgan, who had felt isolated and lonely, found solace in Peyton's company.
Supposedly, so you don't look in their eyes, but when they're sleeping or unconscious, they can't scream, and they go around to make it harder for you. Okay. So then Morgan called me over to where she was standing, which was by the sink. Okay. So then she said, you kind of knock her out, because when I stand up for her every now and then, because Morgan's like prime target for bullies at school, especially Devin. Okay.
The two quickly became inseparable friends, with Morgan affectionately referring to Peyton as Bella. Their bond brought joy and comfort to Morgan's life, and she cherished their friendship deeply. However, the dynamics of their friendship took a troubling turn when Morgan befriended another girl, Wire, who shared her fascination with an eerie character known as the Slender Man.
I didn't pick it, so I don't know. I guess it is closed off from the rest of the park, but it would be very, very easy. I think she has some flaws in her thinking skills. So, obviously, I didn't choose the location.
This enigmatic figure, originating from an online forum called Something Awful and gaining popularity through horror stories on Creepypasta, had a chilling and sinister reputation. Created by artist Victor Surge, also known as Eric Knudsen, the Slender Man was depicted as a faceless and mysterious being with alleged telepathic powers, capable of controlling the minds of children and luring them into his secretive woodland lair.
Pushed my hand away, so I said sorry. I got bored and I needed something to do. Plus, my hands got really finicky. I lied.
So do you think that hurt her, or did it seem like it hurt her?
It didn't seem like it.
So you hit her slightly in the forehead and her head hit the wall. And you were doing this to knock her out so you guys could kill her in there?
Yeah.
Basically, and you asked her to fall asleep so you could kill her in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like screaming. That's one thing I can't be syndrome.
Morgan and Wire became deeply immersed in the fictional world of the Slender Man, believing that by offering a sacrifice to the character, they could become his chosen disciples and live in his hidden mansion. Despite her initial uneasiness about the Slender Man, Peyton wanted to support her dear friend Morgan, who genuinely believed in the entity's existence. She went along with their beliefs, not realizing the danger that lay ahead. Unbeknownst to Peyton, Morgan and Anissa had developed disturbing plans. They had become fixated on the idea of offering a sacrifice, and unfortunately, that sacrifice was intended to be Peyton herself.
So Morgan hands you the knife.
He told me to keep it concealed.
Where is Bella at that time?
We went in one of the bigger cells.
Mm-hmm.
So Bella, say the door is here. Bella was standing in the corner like this. And then Morgan pulls her forward, and then Morgan crouches behind her. And Bella crouches in front of her. And then Morgan held Bella's arms back.
This unimaginable situation placed Peyton in a precarious and perilous position, entangled in the terrifying consequences of her friend's fixation on a dark and ominous fantasy. As the plot unfolded, Peyton found herself at the center of a dangerous and traumatic ordeal. The horrifying plan devised by Morgan and Wire had dire implications for her safety and well-being. Their delusional belief in the Slender Man led to a real-world nightmare that no child should ever have to endure. The incident highlighted the potential dangers of unchecked online content and the impact it can have on impressionable minds. The line between fiction and reality became dangerously blurred for Morgan and Anissa Wire, leading them down a disturbing path with life-altering consequences. For Peyton, the experience left lasting physical and emotional scars.
We said we're going to play a hide and seek, and Morgan is going to be a seeker. So we hide. I tell Bella to lay down face first in the dirt.
So you
on her
suggested,
stomach.
okay, so you suggested to take a walk around the block, and you pointed out the woods to Morgan and said,
We can do the deed there.
okay,
And then, she says, I'm not laying on my stomach in dirt. It's all squishy and there are twigs and sharp rocks everywhere.
Surviving such a horrifying attack required immense strength and resilience. The trauma she endured would undoubtedly shape her life, leaving her to grapple with the aftermath of an unimaginable betrayal by her once dear friends. The Slender Man stabbing case remains a haunting reminder of the influence of online narratives and the need for vigilant awareness when it comes for children's exposure to potentially harmful content.
Her down and get it done and over with, and then we can leave.
you're gonna pin her down,
Morgan told me to pin her down.
okay, and
So she said no, so I kind of pushed her forward and sat on her hip, and then she said, ow, I can't breathe, ow, ow, ow. And then I got off because she was making a lot of noise.
was she kneeling already or something? Or
Yeah, she was kneeling, and then I pushed her, she was kneeling
It serves as a cautionary tale of the consequences of unchecked fantasies and the devastating impact they can have on young lives. As society continues to navigate the digital landscape, it is crucial to prioritize the safety and well-being of children and foster a culture of critical thinking, empathy, and responsible online engagement. On that fateful day of May 31st, 2014, the stage was set for what should have been a joyful celebration of Morgan Geyser's 12th birthday. Morgan invited two friends, including Peyton, to a sleepover at her home. Peyton's mom noticed Morgan's excitement about the Friday night celebration, unaware of the horrifying turn of events that would take place. During the sleepover, Peyton couldn't help but notice that something seemed off about Morgan. Unlike their usual fun-filled nights with pizza and games, Morgan appeared withdrawn and suggested going to bed early. This subtle shift in behavior went unnoticed by Peyton, who likely thought it was just an anomaly in the night's festivities. The next morning, Morgan suggested going for a walk in the nearby woods, and Peyton, trusting her friend's intentions, agreed to join them. Little did Peyton know that this seemingly innocent walk would soon become a nightmarish ordeal.
I'm usually not very athletic and just want to know. I'm trying to think of someplace close to where I live. You know the Kmart that closed down in Waukesha?
Off of Sunset? I do. Mm-hmm.
I walked from there. Morgan and I walked from the condos close to there, the marshy area, all the way to Steinhoffel's.
Once they were deep in the woods, Morgan's other friend Wire proposed playing hide and seek. However, it was far from an innocent game. Wire had a sinister plan in mind. Manipulating Morgan, Wire convinced her to attack Peyton with a knife they had taken from Morgan's kitchen. In a shocking betrayal, Peyton found herself in grave danger at the hands of her supposed friends. The attack came without warning, leaving Peyton with hazy memories of the horrifying incident, but a vivid and lasting impression of immense betrayal and fear.
Be a little jumpy and laying it off task and look around and forget what she's saying in the middle of the sentence a lot.
Okay.
Because, she says she hears voices too, but I just wanted to tell you.
So we're aware of that? Maybe not. Okay. Put off by that then? Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that. Okay.
After the violent assault, Morgan and Wire left Peyton wounded and bleeding in the woods. Their actions were fueled by a disturbing belief that carrying out this act would somehow bring their fictional obsession, the Slender Man, into reality.
I don't know the full-on truth, and the only people that know, really what happened are people that were in the place where it happened, okay? Your parents know that you're here talking to me, okay? And I'm glad they're so glad that you're safe. We were scared for you guys, okay?
The severity and darkness of their delusional convictions added an even more chilling layer to the tragedy. Despite her injuries and the overwhelming fear, Peyton summoned every ounce of strength within her and managed to crawl out of the woods to the side of a road. In a stroke of luck, a passing cyclist discovered her and immediately called for help, dialing 911. The swift response from emergency services was crucial in getting Peyton the medical attention she desperately needed. Upon Peyton's arrival at the local hospital, the medical team was met with a shocking and alarming sight. The severity of her injuries was beyond anything they had anticipated. The doctors immediately sprang into action, working tirelessly for 6 grueling hours during an intensive surgery to save her life. The wounds to her arms and legs, while serious, affected only the soft tissue. However, one particularly dangerous blow had pierced her abdomen, causing significant damage to her liver. Even more terrifying, another strike had come dangerously close to her heart and had narrowly missed a major artery.
Did you try to stab her before that?
No.
Did you guys go to the park?
Yes.
What happened at the park?
In the park, we played and she went on the swing. I was in the bathroom.
What happened in the bathroom?
I was singing.
Dr. John Kellerman, one of the surgeons involved in the life-saving procedure, later revealed that if the knife had penetrated just a tiny bit further, Peyton would not have survived the brutal attack. After the surgery, when Peyton regained consciousness, her first concern was not for herself, but for the whereabouts of her former friends. She needed assurance that they were no longer a threat to her or anyone else.
Where is that?
Over by the trees at the dead end.
And what did you do there?
Stabby, stab. Hide and seek.
What's that?
I already told you.
The news that they had been arrested brought her a sense of relief, knowing that they were no longer free to carry out any more harmful acts. While Peyton was familiar with her friend's deep belief in the Slender Man, the motive behind the attack still shocked her.
And then Anissa did the jumpy thing and said now more.
What do you mean the jumping thing?
She jumped on Bella.
You know what happened?
What?
What happened then?
And then we stabbed her.
She understood the extent of their obsession with the fictional character, and she knew they were willing to go to great lengths to appease the entity they believed in. However, she was taken aback by the revelation that they had been planning this disturbing act for months, indicating a level of premeditation and intent that was deeply unsettling.
On Bella again. Like I just said.
You know what happened?
Are you trying to do this over and over again and see if I tell the story differently?
I'm just trying to make sure that I get it right, that I don't want to make any mistakes. So then she jumped on her, and where did you get the knife from?
The bag!
So you took the knife out of the bag?
The realization that her once close friends had harbored such dangerous and malevolent intentions left Peyton grappling with a mix of emotions, from betrayal to disbelief. It was a stark reminder of how quickly the boundaries between reality and fiction can blur, particularly when young minds become immersed in online narratives that can have detrimental effects on their perceptions and actions.
Who stabbed her?
Both of us.
Who stabbed her first?
How am I supposed to remember that?
No, this is just pretty important, so just gotta try concentrate.
Anissa or me, one of the two, of course, but I don't know.
Peyton's harrowing experience also shed light on the urgent need for mental health awareness and intervention for young individuals who display concerning behaviors or fixations. The incident emphasized the importance of fostering a safe and supportive environment for children where they can seek help if they are struggling with mental health issues or dealing with disturbing thoughts.
Okay. Before you said you didn't remember, you just don't want to tell me?
I don't really remember. It happened really, really fast.
How many times do you think it was?
I don't know. I didn't know I was supposed to count.
How many do you think? Like 1 or 2 or 5
I don't
or
know.
10, 50, 100? I don't know.
I think she'd be dead if it was 100.
In the aftermath of the attack, Peyton's courage and resilience became evident as she navigated her path to recovery. Her strength in facing the traumatic event,
Struggle, sir.
No, I'm trying to do this. I think that you need some help, somebody to talk to, and try to work out some of these things that you got going on.
What do you mean?
Well, thinking about, what does he call this guy? Mr.
Slender Man?
Slenderman. I mean, those thoughts probably aren't real. And to think about stabbing one of your very good friends probably isn't the best thoughts to be having.
coupled with the support of her loved ones and medical professionals, played a crucial role in her healing journey. The incident remains a poignant reminder of the lasting impact of violence and the importance of fostering a society that prioritizes understanding, empathy, and responsible engagement with online content. As Peyton continued to heal physically and emotionally, her story served as a cautionary tale and a call to action to address the complex issues surrounding mental health, online influence, and the potential dangers of unchecked obsessions.
So maybe.
But lots of people have seen Slender Man.
But how about stabbing your friend? You think that's right or wrong?
Probably wrong. If it were right, I wouldn't be here.
That's right. You can't go around stabbing people, so that's why I think that maybe you gotta talk to somebody to get some of these things worked out so you don't go around doing this anymore.
Her survival became a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. The aftermath of the attack left Peyton deeply traumatized and fearful. She was so frightened that she sought comfort and security by sleeping in her mother's bed, seeking solace in the presence of her loved ones.
Loved ones are going to be killed. Do you honestly believe that? Well, yeah, because he's
He could be anywhere from 6 feet to 14 feet tall. He's, like I said, a tall guy who constantly wears a suit with a red tie. He doesn't have a face. His skin is white. And at his own will, he can exploit these tendrils from his back and strangle his victims. From the creepypasta, when he said he targets children most. And so I was really scared, knowing that Slender could easily kill my whole family in 3 seconds.
Even after 5 years had passed, the lingering fear and trauma were still evident as she kept a pair of broken scissors under her bed for safety, a constant reminder of the horrifying event that had shattered her sense of security and trust. During the 2017 trial, the verdict of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect was handed down for Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire. This verdict meant that they were sent to a secure psychiatric unit for 40 and 25 years respectively, or until their symptoms were deemed to be fully resolved.
Skull bracelet from? I asked her who that Jack or Jeff or killer was from the creepypasta. And then she told me about Eyelash Jack and Laughing Jack. Laughing Jack is supposed to be a clown that also targets children. And then Eyelash Jack, he wears a blue fawn mask, no mouth, 2 big black holes for eyes, and that are oozing this weird black ooze.
In other words, if their treatment proved successful, they could potentially be released earlier than the stipulated sentence. The verdict was a source of disappointment for Peyton's parents, who had hoped for a different outcome that would ensure longer-term confinement and less frequent requests for release. The prospect of the attackers being able to request release every 6 months placed a significant burden on the family. It forced them to repeatedly relive the horrifying crime and endure ongoing concerns about their safety and that of their daughter.